What's up, Gruntworks Nation? What's up, VTT? It's the Big Earl here, CEO, founder of Veteran Trash Talk. We're going to talk about financial advising because I don't know anything about that, and neither do most of you. However, some of you have money, and are you doing the right thing? We're going to bring on Army veteran Ken Hewitt, a financial advisor with Series 7, lightsaber stuff. I don't know, but he's skilled, he's qualified, and he's going to tell you what you should do with your money. So make sure you click on the interested or going on the events tab on either the Gruntworks page or Veteran Trash Talk page. Enjoy the show.
Hey, what's up, Trash Talkers? Listen, it's impossible to fight, okay, if you don't know what you're fighting for. Does that make sense? Like, if you're in the dumps and you're struggling with mental health, things of that nature, it's going to continue tearing you down, all right? Because you're consistently trying to fight something, which is that demon, which is usually something from the past, right? Maybe that why needs to be fighting for your future. Let that be your why. Get the hell up and start fighting for your future. Stop fighting things that happened in the past. Easier said than done, right? Go seek help. It's okay not to be okay. A lot of people need to hear this. You are more of a warrior and a fighter if you stand up and say, hey, this has to stop. I need to go seek help. The stigma, everything has changed. It's okay not to be okay.
Here is a firm believer in all men are created equal, but not all men live equal. That is why there's a certain select number of people in the DoD who decided to jump out of airplanes. And yes, we are better than you. 100%. Now, don't be the first triggered pansy to say, well, airborne's not relevant. You haven't jumped since World War II. Well, that's not accurate, for one. And two, it's like having a jalopy or a 68 Mustang. Well, a 68 Mustang's no longer relevant. Doesn't matter. It's still a better car than yours. So take it easy this National Airborne Day and just accept that we are better than you.
So, two things for today's Honesty Cap. First thing, how do all my boys from the 101st feel knowing that the Army decided that instead of actually making you airborne, they would just create a whole new division that's airborne because you just aren't cutting it? It sucks. Thing number two, for all the folks who were like, oh, airborne is irrelevant, doesn't even matter, they're making a whole new division of just airborne people because they're relevant. Think about that. How's that feel? Does it hurt a little bit? I hope it hurts a little bit.
This is the Veteran Trash Talk Hour, hosted by Nick, Dave, and Buddy. Real warriors making fun of other real warriors. Try to not get triggered.
What's up, Trash Talkers? What's up, Gruntworks Nation? All right, we are live coming to you with the Trash Talk Hour. I'm sorry, we are an hour late, and it's all Buddy's fault. And we're not gonna get into it because we don't blame kids on this show. All right, and we're not blaming my daughter for being a freshman competing in the regional final.
Phenom. I think the word that you're looking for is phenom.
I'm just saying. All right, the only freshman in the field and the only one in the 6 races that we were watching in the rain from El Paso to compete in that regional because they're going up against like the Lubbock schools and the Fort Worth schools and all that stuff. But she did an awesome job. She didn't qualify for state, but she's a freshman.
Oh,
She's
got 3 more years.
She'll get there. So yeah, she did really awesome. And we have a new face again. What kind of a new face? The Marine, all right, the Baker as we call him, he is on the show.
What?
He's our muffin fingers if he starts screwing up. All right. So if he's doing a good job, he's the baker. If he screws up, he's muffin fingers. All right. And then the male version of Meghan Markle, you see there, that's Buddy.
Hey.
All right. Yeah, he is in the south.
Oh, no.
He is in the south of France right now, and he apparently rolled down from the pub to.
I actually rolled down from dinner because dinner had some. They've got a drink for everything here. Like before dinner, little finger foods, have some drinks. During dinner, have some wine, have some food. After dinner, gotta digest that food. Probably need to fucking slog down some rum. Yeah,
rum.
it's a lot. Yeah,
Nick, it sounds like you need to move there.
Yeah, I belong in France. All right.
probably.
And then obviously the person who we have not seen before on the show is Jocelyn. All right, former paratrooper herself, joining the ranks of all of us except for the baker up there. But normally the Faceman's up here, who is a paratrooper, but he's not. We won't get into that because I promised the rest of the panel that I wouldn't. So we're not going to talk about it, even though I really, really want to talk about it. Really, really, really bad. Because we are no holds barred here on Trash Talk Hour. You we're like sharks, right? A little cut and it happens. But Jocelyn, welcome to the Trash Talk Hour.
Is it Jocelyn or is it Jocelyn?
Jocelyn.
Jocelyn.
I said it right because I only speak one language.
Jake Quellen.
Jocelyn what?
Say it right.
Yeah.
Say it right.
I think she's selling houses, Nick.
Selling houses,
right.
for sure. And then as you see up in the screen there, we got on the corners, we got 4 Patriots. All right, they partner with us. If you're into outdoor survival food and generators and stuff like that, solar generators, they're a great partner of us. They partner with a lot of veteran organizations. So if you're into that stuff, go get it.
Definitely supporting the mission.
Yeah, and they are supporting our mission. And if you want to support the mission and don't have like $3,000 for a solar power generator, up there in that QR code, you scan that. All right, and that will help lead you to subscribe to Veteran Trash Talk. All right, you'll get a Veteran Trash Talk button. You'll get a discount on a shirt per month. And all of that money will go to promoting the ads that we do for all of our guests.
It's like what, $9.99 a month?
Yeah. So if you give $9.99 a month, Jocelyn's show here will get, it already has gotten boosted with money. All that money came from the subscribers. So the more subscribers we have, the more ad reach we get to do with it. So go ahead, Chris.
Well, I was gonna say what you're saying is for $9.99 a month, you yourself can help promote a veteran business and fight side by side with us with our mission.
Correct. And those of you watching for the first time, give us a like and a share, and listening on to whatever the podcast platforms they are. We're on all of them, I think. So just the audio will be up there later. If you're listening, go to VeteranTrashTalk.com, and then you'll be able to subscribe to us. And it's just our mission is to combat veteran suicide. All right. And we don't look at it at the linear way, like where it's, hey, this will solve this. All right. We try to look at it in a systematic way to where if we can do 1,000 different things, just a little bit, maybe it helps one person. So if we can help you get a job, if we, promote a nonprofit in Montana and somebody on our page says, hey, I'm having trouble in Montana. Hey, guess what? We just had a equestrian therapy dude from Montana on the show. Like, go give him a call. Like, that's the best I can do for you. We're not doctors.
We got somebody down in the Caribbean, don't we?
Yeah. We got a guy who does pirate running for coffee. And like that's dead serious. So he does. And anyways, the shirt we're highlighting today is just the tip. Okay, so go ahead and scan that QR code and get that shirt, just the tip. Now, before you get all crazy with your mind, it's a bullet. All right, just 556, right, or 762, whatever you prefer. Okay, it's just a tip going in there. But all right, there's all the introductions. I think I did a much better job than Dave does. That's the most I'll say about it.
It's pretty good.
That's pretty solid. Kind of covered all the bases.
Yeah, and then I get to go right and stay with myself and keep talking, okay? Because the script was supposed to have Dave, and then now it goes to me, right? And again, I started a podcast because I love hearing myself talk. And I know that the American dream is find something you love and try to find a way to get paid for it. So that's what we're trying to do.
But Buddy and I can confirm that he loves to hear himself talk.
Yes.
Sure.
Like I literally will listen to the audio on this like before I go to bed. Like it just sounds so good. I mean, everybody has to agree.
It puts me to sleep too.
Yeah.
So that's convenient for all of us.
I don't think for the same reasons, but
calms me down. And then Jeremy Daniels is checking in. He says he's not dead yet from the eclipse. He was a big advocate that he might not make it through the eclipse, but he's here.
Portal opened up, Buddy. What's up with that?
And then Billy Hall says, "Let's fucking go."
No portals opened up with the eclipse. What happened?
I don't know. CERN and the eclipse on the same day, and still
no portals.
No portals. But hey, you don't know. We may be in a different dimension.
That is true. We just don't know. Right. It's a Matrix shit right there.
Yep. Yeah. Well, time will tell.
I mean,
time will tell.
And then what was the number 2 search on Google the next day? Why do my eyes hurt? It's like, remember, those people are voting. Okay, like bad. All right. Anyways, this is a good segue into what I've been triggered about this past couple of weeks, right? So I've been really, really triggered, and it happens so often, And
were you a pansy about it?
I didn't become a pansy officially, but on a couple pages I did that I follow and started arguing on, and started becoming a triggered pansy. Did somebody triple stamp your double stamp for trolling? Kind of.
Did you get an Uno reverse from trolling, and then you got mad?
Sounds like it.
I caught myself on LinkedIn. And I said, "Hey, look, if you're being sarcastic, good job, because you got me." I go, if you're not being sarcastic, you just stop. Don't reproduce ever. Like, no. All right. So here's what triggers me. Okay. And I put this on the Big Earls page already. Is I have 2 daughters, great athletes. Okay.
I've got the image ready.
There's the basketball behind me. All right. And they were really into the NCAA tournament this year. All right. Like really into it. Why? Because it caught fire, right? And they had more views than the men, right? They like, it was going nuts. And then you had great personalities in the college ranks that were promoting it, right? And they're great players, right? Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, from LSU, the South Carolina team, their coach, right? Undefeated season, right? Like, and I mean, it's phenomenal. And then, here come the freaking libtards, all right? Here they come, all right? Here they come from the pros that nobody watches, all right? Oh, wait till they get to the pros. They're not going to stand a chance. What? Okay.
That's all right, though, because Caitlin Clark could legitimately leave college and never play pro and still be worth more than they are.
So this is what I'm going to get to, buddy. This is good, all right? So now that this meme started going around, not the one yet, Chris. The one is about Caitlin Clark contract is $330,000 over the next 4 years.
Of course,
right? Where the number 1 draft pick in the NBA is $55 million over the next 4 years. All right. Caitlin Clark also got offered $5 million from Ice Cube in the 3-on-3 league to play. All right.
Yeah.
All this is happening, but again, it's they start putting these memes up about, oh my God, this is so unfair. Okay, Chris, put the meme up. Okay. There you go. All right. Just read it. If you're upset and you're not paying $37 for the women's NBA, WNBA league pass, shut the hell up. Okay. I don't want to hear it. I just don't. There are more women in the United States than men. Go buy that. If you buy that, they make lots of money. All right. You know who funds that league right now? The NBA. The NBA funds that league. And you got the spokespeople for the league trashing the people that are coming into that league that have all the juice.
Don't they lose like $10 million a year? And
Yes.
and the league gives them the $10 million just to cover it?
Yes.
So now you know why I'm triggered. All right. You got these 2 superstars that are already making $1 million a year in NIL deals because of their name and likeness,
More than
they're
that,
popular,
actually,
right? And it's like you're trashing them. Do you know what NBA stars do when they got a young kid coming up? they take him out to dinner. All right. They try to get him to come to their team. You want to know why? Because they know that if I get this kid to come to my team, money. All right.
I
Money.
literally listened to a guy talk about the first time I've ever heard a person, male, female, transgendered, whatever, talk about the WNBA was on my way when I was flying out. And he was like, yeah, I may go see the Fury because Caitlin Clark is going there. But that's the only reason. So when
Right,
you
and-
have professional players that nobody knows their name talking about a player that's coming into the league who everyone knows their name and they're mad. Like, what are you mad for? They're bringing you revenue. Like,
And I'll get into it. Follow the Big Earls page. I'll get into more of it on the political side of why that's happening. All right. And it fits right into the role of just straight narcissism. That's all it is. The attention's off of Diana Taurasi, who nobody knows. I was arguing with that on Facebook. I go, tell me which college Diana Taurasi played for without looking it up. I go, you have no freaking idea.
I don't know who that is.
Like I watched women's basketball partially because I have 2 daughters and I'm trying to get them to play basketball. Like, hey, watch these girls do this. You know, they're really good. You know, like watch, right? And it's like, okay. But anyways, that's the Book of Earl. All right, is just stop trying to make the spotlight on you when it has nothing to do with you. And if somebody is going to bring you more, right, into your circle, embrace them. Embrace them into your circle. Like,
in layman's terms, are you saying that if you're going to play a team sport, be a team player?
Weird.
That's crazy.
And
you're not allowed to make sense. That's not allowed.
If you're dying, all right, and somebody tries to revive you, let them.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
Yeah, like if you're choking and you give the international choke sign, don't fight the person trying to give you the high blood. As you can see, it triggered me. Triggers me. All right, well, now we go to Buddy. Buddy, what we got?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little annoyed. And I'm a little annoyed for a couple reasons. One reason is because I forgot to read the entire script. I saw Dave conspiracy, and then I saw me, and then I saw the message that was like, "Hey, come up with an Honesty Cap conspiracy thing," and I melded those together seamlessly. And then I didn't know that you were. So I'm gonna go a little off, and we're gonna talk about some shapeshifters here for a second. Dave has talked about shapeshifters several times. And now, if you're not privy, these are entities that are like living in the woods, and they try to trick people into going into the woods. But they do it by like having like the voice of a child and being like, "Hey,
Appalachian Mountain shit.
Hey, yeah, come help me. I need help." And then like people go into the woods and they gobble them up, do whatever. I don't know what the fuck they do.
Hansel and Gretel type shit.
Apparently, they have to like touch you in order to shift it into your shape, and then they can be like in a. I don't know. Anyway, but then there are some that they're like deer. They'll like pretend to be deer, and then like some dude's supposed to go. Here's my thing, and this is where conspiracy theory meets Honesty Cap. All right. Why are they so behind the times? You know what I mean? Like, what kid is going to go into the woods because somebody's going like, hey, buddy, come help me, blah, blah, blah. What man is like in Appalachia just kind of walking around and then sees a deer and is like, I'm going to go chase that deer down? You know what? If you really want to trap some people, like you want to trap, like say you want to trap let's do some targeting. You know what I mean? Like some spear fishing, if you will. You want to trap like a 35 to 45-year-old man and like shapeshift into him? Pretend you're like a chick that's got like his shit together, and like you like, hey, my name's Becky, and I have my own 401k, and like I have a steady job, and I also don't care if you go out with your friends on Friday nights as long as you come home and you don't do anything stupid.
And you can play golf anytime you want.
I'll be in the woods. I'm chasing.
Buddy, does that mean that Nick's a doppelganger? It's not really Nick anymore.
Hey, do you want to go play golf on Saturday morning? I'd love to go with you, but I won't just talk to you about Like, how do you play golf all the time? I'll just
I'm gonna
let
be
you
good
tee
at
off,
it.
and
Yeah.
then I'll tee off behind you, or I'll go to the girls' tees and tee off from them. You know, or like a kid, like, hey, I've got the new PlayStation game. Come on out here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, kids aren't that stupid. Guys aren't that stupid. Like,
Eh.
I don't get it. Shapeshifters clearly don't have TikTok or iPhones.
Where are
They
you
don't
pulling
know
your
what's going
sources
on.
for shapeshifter? Because I have not looked these guys up in a minute.
Oh, you can look them up. There's
Oh,
actually
they're
videos of them,
all
like
over
attempting to
Appalachia.
Yeah, they're in
They
Appalachia.
they
Like,
talk
they're
about it
all
all the
over.
time. Where it's like, if you hear something at night, no, you
You
didn't.
didn't hear anything
You
at
don't
night. Yeah,
respond. You go inside. You shut your door. You say nothing.
it's a real thing.
Well,
It's a
buddy,
real thing.
are they shapeshifters or skinwalkers?
Same, apparently. Just different, like, you know, Bigfoot,
Geographical
Sasquatch,
locations.
just depends.
Right, but
Just depends.
are they stealing your body or are they like
I think, supposedly, first of all,
Some like
nobody's
invasion of the
ever.
body snatchers
Like,
shit.
First of all,
So-
you just got schooled.
so,
you don't
no,
know.
no. So apparently, it depends on your specific, like, meeting with them. There have been people that like walked out and then they ended up like going up a tree on some stairs or whatever, had no idea what they were doing, and the shapeshifter had like morphed into their body by touching them or whatever. Yeah, there's all kinds of weird stories. Either way, if you want to steal more bodies, be something more relevant. That's what I'm saying. You gotta go after your target audience. Know your audience. These
What-
shapeshifters, clueless to their audience.
What if they shapeshift into a duck, buddy?
And they're
A duck that doesn't fly.
Stupid fucking duck.
Yeah.
They're probably just walking around looking like idiots.
Jocelyn,
Whatever.
I know you haven't watched too many of our shows, but the funniest rant Buddy's ever went on is about ducks that walk across the road.
In
Yeah,
front of your
so-
vehicle.
They're like
Yeah.
old drunken men.
Yeah.
that's what ducks
Yeah.
do?
No,
They
they have
don't.
wings.
They have wings. They could fly if they
Just
wanted
fly
to.
over the
They're
road.
fucking assholes.
Yeah.
You should hit them. Hit them with your car.
But buddy
Anyway.
hates ducks.
So that being said, that's my conspiracy theory / honesty cap. And like I said, like, watch out for the shapeshifters, but also if you're in Appalachia and you are a single 37, 38-year-old man and you hear a voice in the wood that says, I love drinking Coors Light and going to the golf course on Saturday.
NASCAR races.
You didn't
No, you
hear
didn't.
shit. Go inside. Go back inside. You didn't hear a damn thing. Run. Like,
So
like
are
that.
you asking us, Buddy,
Run.
if we believe in shapeshifters, and if we do,
I don't care.
like, do we believe in their strategy?
I don't care if you believe in shapeshifters.
Okay. Well, it's
I
a
don't care if
conspiracy
you believe
theory.
in their strategy is bad. Let's
Yeah.
just, we already, that's without saying.
All right, Jocelyn, what's your take on that? What's your take on shapeshifters?
On shapeshifters?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Or skinwalkers, if
Yes,
that's your
everybody knows.
geographical.
It's Jay Quellen, okay?
It's
Say
Joe
it right.
Selin.
okay?
It's Joe
Joe
Selin.
Selin.
We
Joe
literally just came up with her next marketing campaign.
Joe
All right,
Selin.
so you're gonna
MC
see that
Joe
on
Selin.
billboards. You're gonna see that on
Yep.
billboards in Fayetteville.
We're gonna
Joe
trademark
Selin.
it. Yeah.
You want to buy a house?
Listen, she's
Joe
gonna make so much money she'll hire
Selling
Key and Peele to
and
do
Joe
it.
buying houses. Like, not a huge deal.
Joe
Ah,
Selin.
Shapeshifters, skinwalkers. I mean, like, I know, like, these things sound really wild. Have I like experienced any of that like ever in my life? No. However, like,
How do we know you're not a skinwalker currently?
right? I mean, yeah, I take everything with a grain of salt, but also like there are some things in this world that like people just can't explain, you know, when they see things, right? So I don't know.
You know,
Have you experienced a
explain
humble Cav Scout?
Hold on.
Or
To
Or
explain
Marine?
that,
Who does CrossFit?
Yeah.
I have, and it's also a vegan. They
Not,
don't
not
say
you,
anything.
buddy. You don't get
They don't know.
Buddy's
Vegans that do,
definitely not a vegan.
no,
Yeah.
but vegan Marines that do CrossFit are the quietest people on the planet. Not
Yeah.
because they're quiet, but because they don't know what to talk about first. They're super confused.
What do they talk about first?
Yeah, they explode when it comes. It's like their head blows up. That being said, I will say that I have heard a theory on why the Appalachian Mountains specifically have all these like weird beings and things supposedly in them. And that is, if you look back at like geographically, the Appalachian Mountains has existed even when the world was like
Buddy's going
freaking
back to Pangea
like
time.
90, even when Pangea, but when
How
most
do
of
we
Pangea
look
was
at the
underwater,
How do we look at
the
the world
Appalachian
before
Mountains
people
were a
existed?
landmass like thousands and thousands, like hundreds of thousands of years ago. The Appalachian Mountains were still above water, so
Nick,
whatever
you got to
was
look
on
through the
them
wormhole
got
that was
trapped
created
them.
during the
I
solar
want to
eclipse.
know: is this a theory, or how did we actually see this?
It's science,
It's science.
mostly science,
Trust the
mostly
science.
Is it a scientific model?
It's like
science.
Fauci said.
In what we call it here in France,
Because if
science.
Fauci didn't tell me that it existed before water, I didn't. I can't believe it.
Trust the science, Nick.
Well, basically, what I'm telling you is science. So
But you have
don't
to
argue
say,
with
like,
me.
science.
Yeah,
Science. Yeah.
just like China.
Aliens.
Yep.
China.
All right. That being said, is this where is can I go ahead and introduce the guest, Jocelyn?
Yeah,
Jocelyn Real Estate all over the place. And look, if you're in Fayetteville and you're looking for some real estate, Jocelyn Real Estate everywhere. Okay, no, just playing. All right, so we have Major Jacqueline Bradley, who was a
Jacqueline.
logging.
Is there a C and a K in there?
Well,
Like, is that what we're doing?
Jocelyn,
mean,
Jocelyn. I
Yeah.
like Jocelyn personally, but
Yeah.
hey, you say what you want. She can have the floor here in a minute. Anyway, so she was a
The
logistics
the
officer.
one time we need Dave on the show to correct your English.
Hey,
He's not here.
it's not my English, it's my reading
It's
ability.
your
And
French.
I went to public school in Alabama, guys. So
Buddy, this is why we can't have nice things, man. You gotta ruin
correct.
it for everybody.
You're not wrong. I'm not gonna argue with you.
He's not even allowed to sit on the couch.
Yeah, I'm not even sitting on the couch.
Hey,
I'm not sitting on the couch.
man. What are you doing with
I
your
don't
life?
wanna I don't wanna do the thing where I'm like looking down on you guys. You know, I want you guys to feel like we're all on an even plane mentally and physically, so I had to sit on plus I got a little place to play bar. There we go. Anyway, good God Almighty. We're not going to hold the fact that Jocelyn, who's selling all the real estate in Fayetteville, went to West Point. Fucking nerd. Anyway, whatever. Hey, you want to go ruin your college years by getting yelled at by some fucking nerd who's like, oh, look at, I didn't go to combat yet, but I'm going to yell at you. Hey, that's on you. Go ahead. So she went to West Point, and hey, great for her. But then she did step it up and went to the 82nd. Then went to First Special Warfare or Special Forces Command, and went to Operation ORR twice. I've been drinking, so if we could just leave me the fuck alone.
It is like 1 o'clock in the morning.
And I'm trying to be a little bit quiet because like everybody's sleeping. But anyway. But now she's a realtor in Fayetteville, North Carolina, where she's selling that. Joe's just selling real estate, just out here, just selling to VA, and she doesn't know anything about this lawsuit. So don't fucking ask.
Yeah,
Shut your mouth.
No questions. No questions in the chat.
Yeah.
About the lawsuit.
Right.
Ask all the other questions you want.
Yeah, everything else. VA loan questions, whatever. Buying
Boom.
houses, PCS,
Conventional loan question, maybe. VA loan, 100%. Lawsuit, fuck off. Nobody's asking those questions. All right, it's on you now. Now it's on to you. Go ahead.
Welcome to the dumpster fire.
Welcome to the dumpster fire. Hey.
I don't think I've ever gotten like an introduction like that before. So thanks, buddy. I appreciate you. I think
You know what?
pour yourself
I've heard that before.
out of whatever you're drinking, man.
I can't. I'll fall asleep. That's not a good idea.
No, are you sure?
Yeah. I'll throw up. Probably. I just fell down a mountain. I'll probably throw up. I may have a concussion. We don't know. Go ahead.
All the more reason not to sleep.
Yeah.
You guys.
That was science right there.
Yeah, science. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I've been a real estate agent for the last 5 years while doing Army Reserves for a unit on Fort Bragg or Fort Liberty now. Ooh. And I sell a lot of real estate in Southern Pines and Moore County, as well as Fayetteville, Rayford, and then Harnett County up in Sanford and Spring Lake, which I'm sure you're all familiar with. yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
What's
I gotta take
what's
it
the
into
biggest? Like, I've heard that North Carolina real estate is just weird, like different than a lot of other places. Like, you guys have like weird rules that the rest of the country doesn't have.
I think weird might be the wrong. I wouldn't describe it as weird because real estate is different in every single state. Every state is governed by a different real estate commission and has different laws associated in a different process, which is why I'm licensed in North Carolina and Florida. I can't just randomly decide one day that I want to go sell houses in Texas without getting licensed in that state. So they don't always transfer. So you have to be licensed in every state that you're going to be practicing real estate in. North Carolina, it's a little harder to get your license because it requires so much pre-licensing and post-licensing hours of coursework. But yes, it's different. Every state is different. There are nuances for every state, that's different.
So even after you get your license, they're like, not good enough. More work. Here you go.
Basically, yeah.
Is it CE or is it actual stuff you have to do before you can start practicing?
So it's concurrent. Before you do 75 hours of pre-licensing work, and that's like in a classroom setting or online or self-paced, and then you take a state and a national exam after you pass your course exam. That's, the state and national exam is proctored. You have to go to a testing center. Like they're serious about it. It's a certification for a license. And it's a huge liability to take on, and get your real estate license because you're dealing with people's livelihoods, right? Houses are one of the biggest things that a person will purchase in their entire lifetime. So you can't really. Am I allowed to swear on this show?
Yeah,
As much as you
fucking
fucking
are.
want.
You really don't want to fuck that up, right?
Yeah.
And
literally and figuratively.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
True.
So, and then post licensing, to answer your question, Baker, is there's 90 hours of post licensing required in the state of North Carolina that has to be completed within the first 18 months of getting your license while you're working under a broker as a provisional broker. And once your 90 hours of post licensing is finished, and that's in 3 different 30-hour courses, you become a full broker and not a provisional broker anymore. So it's kind of like you're taking the training wheels off, right? And then you're just unsupervised and can do whatever you want. It's actually kind of dangerous and scary if you don't know what you're doing. So, yeah.
Is there a big compensation difference between the provisional and the full on?
Oh, that's a really great question. No, there's
don't
not.
boost his ego. All right.
There it is.
Now he's gonna want to be on every
You're
show.
gonna want to be on every show.
I asked really good questions, guys. Remember that one show?
That's really good questions. I should be on every single show every
Like,
time.
Oh my god.
I can do more. I'm not just a one-trick pony. You are. Stop asking questions. Fucking boring me.
Talking about the same shit every week. At least I ask good questions. Yeah.
Jesus.
I mean,
Well, did that question get answered, or did we interrupt?
it did. No, it did.
Okay.
There's
Okay.
no-
All right.
She said there's no difference.
Yeah, we work for.
So here's the thing, and we're not going to talk about this lawsuit because we're not. We've already discussed that. But
What
what
is
we
the guy
what
where
we-
it's like, even as a kid, don't touch. You still, if they,
Right.
you just
Don't
put a
push
sign-
the red button, buddy.
yeah, he's the kid
I'm
that
not-
you actually put a sign that says "touch this" and he won't.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Like,
I'm not saying that, but what I am going to ask is a lot of people don't, and I know as being a buyer and a seller for several different houses, whenever it comes to especially the selling portion, it feels like every dickhead who's never done anything with or about that house is got their hand out like, oh, you need me to pay. I got to pay you for this inspection, and I got to pay you for this, and I got to pay this realtor, and I got to pay the people that come and fix the little like chip in the paint that they wanted to like chip. Why do realtors get the amount of commission they get? Like, because a lot of people think that all they do is basically go to a website, get somebody to take some pictures,
Hey,
put some
Zillow,
pictures on the
everybody
website.
knows that.
I legitimately heard a guy the other day saying, why can't we just do real estate with some sort of app? And personally, I don't think that's a good idea because again, it is like the largest investment that most people will ever own in their life. It stands for but a great portion of their actual net worth. But explain to the people that don't really understand why you get the commission that you get.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean,
Another good question.
that's a really great question too, buddy.
Better than Chris's? Would you say it's better
The
than
pressure
Chris's?
is so on me right
you
now.
say-
Now, yeah, Nick, what are you gonna do? You got to come up with a good one now.
I'm gonna
I
let
would-
her answer, and I'm thinking.
Yeah,
So
I would say my question is better than Chris's, but whatever.
I
Whatever.
mean, I can't. I like both of you. I actually hate both of you equally. So there's no better
Thank you.
question over the other.
Okay.
Anyway, I
Yeah.
wish I had like
Fuck it,
3
buddy.
hours to talk about all the things that I
Much
do.
time as you want.
Like, well, we don't have 3 hours, but like, okay, so
She's got a showing.
there are like over 200 tasks that I do as a real estate agent to prepare for a listing, right? And so like I have an entire list of things like making an appointment, answering all the questions. Being available is a big part of what we do, to explain the process and be knowledgeable about it, because we are the subject matter experts. It's not just taking pictures with my phone and putting them on Zillow. Like, I pay a professional photographer. We get professional measurements. Like, I have contractors come out and provide.
You have a drone pilot?
I'm sorry?
You have a drone pilot on call?
My photographers are they're FAA qualified to fly drones.
Stupid question, Chris. Mark that down.
Chris,
Stupid question.
yeah, stupid question by Chris.
Put that down.
And also, Chris, Buddy didn't interrupt your great question.
Right.
Just saying.
Fair.
Strike 2.
Ooh, tough crowd.
Looks like we're marking
so,
Chris
like,
down as a no-show for next week.
About that.
Like, there are a lot of things that I think real estate agents do behind the scenes that people don't see, that keep people from getting into some real hot water, in terms of, if you're looking at a property, right, you don't know if there are any easements or any encroachments or, utility lines, things like that, like on the land or any like, that's why we have real estate agents to kind of make sure that all the T's are crossed and I's are dotted, right? And that's also why we have attorneys that do title searches to make sure that you are purchasing a home with a clean title. There are just so many things that can go wrong. By all means, if you feel confident about buying or selling a house without using a real estate agent, I applaud you. I would not do that. And I'm a real estate agent, right? It's just having that, extra buffer of, hey, this person has my back, right? And is representing me and making sure that things are being negotiated appropriately and to the best of their ability. I think that says a lot. And the thing is, like, if people don't see the value in that, then they're not going to be a good fit working with me, right? Because I add value, and if someone doesn't see my value, then I don't need to work with them.
Yeah. I think there's a lot to be said for the amount that realtors pay in order to help their clients that their clients don't have to pay, like for the photographer, for all that other stuff. They don't pay that like on the front end. You pay it kind of on the back end. So
all the marketing and photography, fees and invoices, any repairs can get paid up front. Like, and then all of that is recouped, when the house sells. So here's the other question is, what if the house doesn't sell? Well,
you're out.
For example, what if I have a buyer that wants to go see 50 houses and then the next day they decide they don't want to buy a house anymore?
Yeah.
Because that's happened, right?
Yeah. True. Well, it's kind of like going into a court case where you got a pretty substantial sentence on the line,
buddy?
and you decide to lawyer yourself. You know what I mean? Like,
Barrick's
I'm a
lawyer.
sovereign citizen, actually.
Barrick's lawyer.
I am traveling. I
I
am
don't
not.
follow your real estate laws.
I don't.
I'm a sovereign citizen. I can
I
buy this
squat.
house.
Actually, to be honest, I didn't even buy the current house. I'm squatting. I squat.
Didn't squatting originate in France?
I don't think so, because then it would be
wrong, so I'm pretty sure I'm right.
I think it would be pronounced squat. Squatting. If it was. No, but it's not. It's squatting, so it's probably British.
No.
Everybody knows that. Yeah, they're into taking over people's land. Fucking the
Well,
British.
that's why they had to go conquer half the world, because they were sick of the squatters in their own.
They were just
100%.
squatting the world.
Go squat over there.
Another good question. What are
Isn't it Nick's turn for a good question?
oh yeah,
I'm
it is
still
next
thinking.
turn.
I'm still thinking.
Oh,
I got
okay.
to trump you two. So
Are there squatters in North Carolina? Is that a real thing that you have to deal with squatters or whatever when you're like selling a house?
I personally don't deal with that. I would not take on a listing that had squatters in that. That's more of a property management issue that
Huh.
a seller would have to, go to court and take civil action in order to have that squatter removed. And again, I'm not a lawyer, so I can't provide legal advice.
Buddy's a
neither
lawyer.
are you, buddy.
Buddy,
I
are you a lawyer
actually-
or Eric's
I
lawyer?
lived in the barracks, if that counts. So,
Yeah.
He stayed at a Holiday Inn Express last night.
Yeah.
but I did stay in the barracks for a long time, and
Yeah.
in those barracks, I was the in-resident law firm for all of the specialists and below. So, if you have any questions about the UCMJ, I'm your guy. He can't do
Yeah.
that.
So a little background, Jocelyn, is Buddy was a staff sergeant when Dave and I got into the Army, and I think we made.
She doesn't know Dave.
I know Dave's not here, but I'm to segue. All right, I think we made E7 before him, but he definitely
That's right.
he definitely was the guy that knew everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of Dave, I was really hoping that he would be on the show, but he's in Highlander. He's a realtor, and
There can only be one on the show.
I guess there can only be one on the show.
There we go.
Don't worry, buddy. I'm not going that way. But all right. What I will say though is he just got married to a powerhouse realtor who has a team, right? And she is amazing, does great work in Arizona, and she started to build her team a lot with like SkillBridge, right? And bring in military personnel looking at transitioning, which is a phenomenal thing to do. If anybody who has a small business or a business that needs people to learn a trade before they actually start actually doing it, because I know Dave's killing it and all that kind of stuff. When you were saying something earlier about your list, you got to go back to the veteran, the military thing about a PCC, PCI checklist. All right.
Yeah.
What do you think that? I mean, we already know this as veterans, like especially Buddy and I. Chris is still figuring shit out, but we know that if we apply our what we learned in the military to the civilian world, as long as we adapt to the civilian world, but we take the strengths of what we learned in the military, we're pretty much a better worker than anybody you can possibly hire.
Does that mean you're going to overcome those things, Nick?
Right. So, but you have yet to adapt like a Marine. You've just overcome some things. You need to get on your shit, right? So, like, my question is what from your military career? And again, I usually make fun of West Pointers when they're not doing something like really, really great for society because we spend all that money on your education. We did have somebody on here from West Point that sells goats, right? So it was like another Colonel Rob,
100%.
Another Colonel Rob guy, and so that was pretty, like spend $190,000 on your schooling and you sell goats. Like, thanks a lot for everything you do. But no, when Colonel Rob reached out to me back in February and told me about you, I was like, I kind of wanted to get that feedback from you as a West Pointer about where do you see your strengths and skills and how do they relate to the realtor world? Because anybody watching this that's transitioning soon or not like Buddy's transition, that's different. That's more of a physical thing. But like the actual like actually transitioning out of the military, where do you see the strengths of a military person?
The strengths of a military. Okay, so
for a realtor, yeah.
Yeah, no, real talk. Being in the military and not just attending and graduating from West Point, but like spending 9 to 10 years in the active duty and then transitioning out. Like you see what works and what doesn't work, I think. And so, a lot of times, and I'm not saying, I'm sure you guys can agree that there's a lot of BS that comes with being a soldier, being in the military, dealing with difficult personalities and
Never.
unreasonable expectations. The strengths that we have, is basically just, it boils down to a lot of grit and determination, as well as, responsiveness, right? So like, I don't know about you guys, but when I was like a platoon leader or a company commander, if my phone rang in the middle of the night, I was expected to answer it for an emergency, right? Like, hey, come pick your soldier up from jail. Or, hey, we lost a sensitive item, get your ass back on post. Like, like things like that, right? So
We weren't allowed to lose sensitive items. We had to have them tied down. I don't know what kind of unit you were in.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of, well,
anyway.
You guys had sensitive
Never.
items?
yeah.
Well,
The
yeah, you were
Marine
They
Corps
Marine.
had
they don't
cable
give
and
those
sticks.
to Marines.
Yeah.
Like,
No, they don't trust Marines with that.
Yeah,
But
Marines.
isn't it the
Marines
Army
came
that
up
lost an
with
entire
sensitive items.
fucking tank, not the Marine Corps?
no, we.
No idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, go ahead. Back to what you were saying. Can we just mark this down as another not good question for
Okay,
him?
buddy.
For person is strike 3.
For Chris.
Yeah.
You're producing next week.
Yep.
About that.
Just being responsive, and being able to respond to needs, whether that's, anybody in your chain of command calling or a soldier needing something, or it translates really, really well into the civilian community and especially entrepreneurship, because as a business owner, right, nobody's saying, hey, Jocelyn, you have these tasks for today, you better get your shit done, right? Like, it's all on me. So if it doesn't happen, that's on me. If it does happen, it's on me, right? And so for a lot of real estate agents, and the bar is set pretty low on real estate licensure nationwide, right? I think the average agent sells, like, the average agent who's in real estate full time maybe sells 10 houses a year. That's not a lot. And so what I've seen is the difference between a good agent and a not so great agent is just the ability to answer your phone or respond to text messages. It's really not that hard.
Yeah.
That's the takeaway that I have,
So
Nice.
I do have a question. Genuinely
Trying to
curious
redeem
about
himself.
this. I'm gonna piggyback off of Buddy's with the squatter
Right.
thing.
Okay.
What do you
If Buddy's was a
do?
good enough question, you wouldn't need to piggyback off it. But go ahead.
Well, then maybe it wasn't good enough.
That's what I'm saying.
What
Well,
do you
squatter
do
did-
before? Like, what do you take into consideration, and what steps do you take before you say, "Okay, I'll take this listing. I'll sell your house"?
Yeah, no, that's a really good question. So,
Damn it.
God damn it.
well, no, it's
That's
fair,
2.
right?
I think it's actually 3, but whatever.
Okay.
Real
Thanks,
estate
buddy.
and being hired, it's a two-way street, right? Like, if I have the opportunity to take on a listing or take on a new buyer, right, I'm jumping on a video call or a phone call with them as soon as humanly possible to make sure that we're setting expectations and that we're on the same page about how this is going to go, right? And if they have unrealistic expectations, or I feel like it's not going to be a good fit, like personality-wise, or if they just come across like a complete psycho, I'll probably be like, thanks, I don't think, I don't, I'm sorry, I'm just so busy. Let me help you let me put you in touch with another realtor who can help you and give you the time that you need, because I don't have it right now. And that's like a really polite way of saying, no, this isn't a good fit. And I know, I can see it because I've been doing this for 5 years, right? I can tell if someone is going to be really, really difficult to work with or not so much.
Nice. Hey, give us, for the people watching and then listening on the podcast platform after this, give us an example of when a seller or buyer, whoever you are working with, like completely just killed a deal because they didn't listen to you, or they didn't do, if you have one, if they didn't, obviously don't drop a name, obviously, but like to where, because everybody on this panel knows that I put my foot in my mouth every once in a while, and it's like, can you ruin a deal because you think you know more?
I've actually, knock on wood, I have had a couple buyers or buyers mostly, like this has happened maybe twice, back out of a deal that would have been just fine. But like because they got cold feet, not because they didn't like. So no, it wouldn't have mattered like what I said or did. They didn't have a warm and fuzzy anymore, right? And I get it. Like, it's a big deal. Buying a house is a big deal. But for the most part, I've been able to save most of them, even if they don't listen. So we're just, paddling, under the water like frantically while looking, calm and cool on top. So I hope that kind of makes sense.
What are so as a real estate agent, and I'm guessing because of where you're located, you deal mostly with like VA and not conventional or whatever. But as a VA buyer, what are some of the things that, as a VA realtor, what are some of the things that VA sellers and buyers should look at that could possibly save themselves time, money, and like a lot of hard feelings? Because like the VA is hard to, like, you got all the weird inspections that they do that like you have to have like a handrail because it's 1.5 feet above the ground and all this like craziness.
Right.
What would you suggest for other VA buyers to save themselves a lot of time and effort and money, really?
Got it. So the first thing, obviously, saving time and money is understanding your purchasing power by getting pre-approved with a lender who consistently works with military and veterans. And we have a lot of amazing veteran lenders who, I've served with, who consistently, assist veterans and their families in getting pre-approved and getting loans for their VA buyers. So getting pre-approved, understanding your purchasing power would probably be the first thing to do. And then second, making sure that you are working with a real estate agent who understands the nuances of military life, military transition, especially PCSing to and from different duty stations, and who is familiar with how the VA loan works, right? So just interviewing that real estate agent is probably what I would recommend second. So getting pre-approved and then finding an agent that actually knows what they're doing in terms of military buyers and military lifestyle.
All right. Hey, before Buddy goes into the AAR, where can people find you if they're either PCS into Fort Bragg or if they're leaving and or just going back to the mothership?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Fort Bragg / Fort Liberty is the center of the universe. So if you haven't been here yet, you're probably going to be here at some point in your career. And they can find me on Facebook, Jocelyn Bradley, NC Real Estate Broker, or on Instagram.
Well, that's a tough one, Baker. You going to be able to hammer that down in time?
Oh, you guys might not be able to spell or pronounce my name. We'll see.
Well, he's an intel guy. He's smart. We'll see.
I'm not the ASVAB waiver Marine. I'm one of the other ones.
Yeah.
I can just throw your website up there. Boom.
Yeah, or JocelynBradley.com, or on Instagram at Sold by Jocelyn. So that's where I can be found. And literally everything is public record. So
also, for people that are listening, try to get it. Like you're about to hit what I was about to hit.
Go ahead, buddy.
Oh
wow, wow!
Yeah,
a Freudian slip. You wish Dave was here.
Anyway, yeah, get it before she changes her name to Jocelyn.
Jocelyn. Yeah, I would say Instagram. I hope by tomorrow is changed to Jocelyn.
If you don't change it to Jocelyn.
As soon as you make your first $1 million, you need to have a 30-second ad with Key and Pill.
And then you need to give us an ad because we should have ownership rights. In fact, I'm already targeting my lawyer saying, hey, get rights to that before she takes
I'll work on that.
Yeah. By the way, I'm his lawyer from the barracks. So.
From the barracks.
Turns out this napkin that says we own this doesn't work.
Yeah.
I actually want to sign and declared ownership of it. So
property of
3 times. I declare ownership of Jocelyn.
Yeah.
So, anyhow, that's a thing. Now you have to pay us.
Yeah. We're taking you to Judge Judy. She'll like the napkin.
Yeah. It's on the show.
All right, give us the AR, buddy.
Jesus. Let's
He
see.
didn't take any notes because
I don't have.
I
I
don't think Buddy
actually
can write right now.
not a huge deal. First of all, Chris is correct. I'd probably throw up. Secondly, I don't think the pens here write in English. They're French pens.
they're still feather and ink, right? Like whale oil, like yeah.
True. And also, did I mention I'm from Alabama public school, so writing is hard anyway. So
Yeah, but aren't you the most trained soldier in the army?
You don't have to write in the army.
I don't know about in the army.
All you have to do
but-
is capitalize the soldier S in soldier, and you learned army writing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And the final thing is that I didn't read that part of the script, so I didn't get all the way down there. I just got
Chris,
to where I was.
Buddy, you had
You know
one
what?
job, dude.
I've
One
actually had
job.
3 jobs. I don't know if you know this, Jocelyn, but I've had 3 jobs on this
Three
show.
jobs. Sorry, 3 jobs.
I had to come up with my own honesty cap and conspiracy theory that melded
That was ad
seamlessly.
hoc. Yeah.
That was good though. I think it was good. Shapeshifters are a thing,
It was.
and
Walkers.
out of date. This is actually kind of becoming like a little bit of an AAR, like an ad hoc. I like the format we got going here. Let's just put a pin in it. Let's put a pin in it. We'll shift into. So yep,
shift into it.
Hey, Dave. Nick was fucking.
Yes.
Oh, that's twice.
Yeah. Anyway,
Buddy
Nick
versus
was.
Dave.
Oh my god, I kind of. Nick was triggered. It's been triggered all week because people keep messing around. People are mad that Caitlin Clark and freaking Angela Reese only got 300,000, but they're also mad. Like the WNBA is mad because they're coming to WNBA. And here's the thing: the WNBA people, they may be professionals, but I don't know if you've seen Caitlin Clark shoot, but she's shooting from NBA range, so she's better than you. It's not a big deal. She's been playing. Angela Reese, probably better than you. They're also bringing their fan base. So stop bitching about them coming because they're actually going to make you money because you haven't done it on your own. If you can't do the job, don't be mad when somebody else comes to do the job better. Just ride their coattails, shut your mouth, dribble your ball, play with them, buy them dinner. You know what? Probably don't buy them dinner.
Screen for them because they're going to make the shot.
Actually, don't buy them dinner because Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese both are worth more than you are in the WNBA. Already. Make them buy you dinner because Caitlin Clark wore like $100,000.
Honesty cap.
She wore $100,000 to the draft. She wore more than you make in a year to the draft.
She wore more than she make in a year.
Yeah.
That's a year's worth of salary just out here getting drafted. Anywho, you know what? That's a thing that we talked about. We had Chris on the show because he asked really good questions, great questions. Look, just one after another, just hitting them up, and then formerly known as Jocelyn, but now known as Jocelyn. Jocelyn was on here just hitting us up with the real estate knowledge. VA facts. Well, she doesn't really know a lot about squatters. That's sad because I was hoping there were some good squatter stories. There were no good squatter stories.
Because she does her homework, buddy, before she takes a listing.
We're not going to hold it against you that you go by the house and make sure that there's not like Jed isn't living in the basement when you go.
Cooking meth.
I do really wish that there had been some cool story about like the time that you went and there was a whole family of like people living in it. But whatever. It's a thing.
It'd have been pretty awesome if she had to assault through.
True. It would have been. But and that was the SAAR. That's it. Go, Nick.
Perfect. All right. Well, PJ Harrison, who has another thing I was triggered about this week is the good idea fairies, has yet to create his page called VTT's mental health advisor or shrink
coach
or whatever he wanted to do. PJ Harrison is a great friend of ours. Did he say don't be a Paul? Okay, PJ, nobody was talking about you. Don't make this about you. All right, like so you should probably coach that you shouldn't do that. But I know Jocelyn probably can't see the chat thread. I don't know if she can, but That's PJ. He's a great friend of ours. Hope you're doing well over there in the Zona. In Surprise. No, put the other shirt up.
We're gonna put this one up.
All right. So as I'm closing this out here, go scan that QR code and get that shirt that says "Quit Being a Triggered Pansy." That's chapter 1, verse 1 of the Book of Earl. All right. If you live by that code, right, just try it. Okay. Just because everybody gets triggered. It's the last word in that you have to try to avoid. All right. Don't become a pansy about it. Don't ruin it for everyone else around you. All right. Get triggered, get pissed, go in the corner. All right, flog yourself or whatever, get mad, and then come back and be nice to people. Okay, just don't ruin it for everybody else. So scan that QR code, and then it's not official. Don't actually flog yourself. I didn't tell you to do that, but we're an LLC, so you can't really sue us. Just scan that code, and we're good. But we, go to shop.veterantrashtalk.com. All right, that's where we have all of our apparel. Go to VeteranTrashTalk.com and go subscribe to YouTube, because YouTube hates us because we're too funny, right? And we don't teach you how to fix cars, so they don't put us on like the algorithm. All right, so just get in there and go subscribe to that. Have a good time. Scan that QR code up in the upper corner and subscribe to Veteran Trash Talk. One of you did watching the show. That's one more than usual. So have somebody else. So go there and scan that.
Yeah, send out another button.
Yeah, and then running across the bottom is 4patriots.com/VTTGW. You can also do /VTT for the food. I think, is it GW that goes to the generator?
Yeah, and we'll talk about the food one here in a minute.
Yeah, and you'll hear my voice again, because I love my voice, in our ad after the show. And watch out for China hoarding food. All right, it's just what it is. But Jocelyn, last word before we end the dumpster fire.
Use your VA loan. It's one of the best things out there for veterans when they're buying houses.
Nice. All right, play the ad. I want to hear myself talk. This is a food warning. The UN warns of an unprecedented global hunger crisis. In fact, it's predicted by 2030 that 800 million folks will struggle to feed their families, which means 2 dangerous things for you. Number 1, higher prices at the grocery store. Number 2, less food available. And when panic strikes, it will be chaos, making it even harder to get the food your family needs to survive. That's why it's vital, more than ever, to have a survival food stockpile. Introducing the deluxe 3-month survival food kit from 4 Patriots. It has 688 servings of meals for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, with delicious recipes like pancakes, mac and cheese, Aztec chili, and potato soup. They've even got spaghetti and lasagna. This isn't your typical survival food, and over 200,000 smart Americans agree. This is survival food that actually tastes good. But best of all, it's designed to last up to 25 years. You can stash it away and be confident that when a disaster strikes, you and your family will be ready. Go to 4patriots.com/VTT to get the deluxe 3-month survival food kit